On a freezing January afternoon in 1972, as J-80 Flight 367 sliced through the sky over Czechoslovakia, 22-year-old flight attendant Vesna Vulovic moved down the aisle with the easy rhythm of someone who believed she had her whole life ahead of her. She had swapped shifts with a friend that morning, a small coincidence no one on board paid attention to, the kind of decision that usually means nothing until it means everything. At 4:01 p.m. somewhere above 33,000 feet, a sudden shudder ran through the aircraft, so violent it felt like the sky itself had cracked open. No warning. No alarms. Just a deafening, impossible roar as the cabin exploded into a storm of metal, wind, and screams. Vesna had a single confused thought: this can't be real, before the world turned white and the plane tore apart around her. She never felt her body being thrown into the open sky. She never saw the ground rushing up from miles below. Instead, she drifted in and out of a strange half-dream, trapped inside a section of the fuselage that spiraled toward the earth like a dying meteor. The temperature plunged to -40 degrees, her uniform freezing against her skin, her breath turning to crystals. Her seatbelt, the only thing keeping her tethered to life, dug so hard into her waist it fractured her pelvis. Somewhere between consciousness and oblivion, her heart slowed, her blood pressure dropped, and every law of physics seemed to bend around one unassuming young woman falling from a height no human had ever survived. On the ground below, a Czech villager named Bruno Honky heard what he thought was thunder rolling across the mountains and stepped outside to check his traps. Instead, he found a crater of smoking metal and silence until he heard it, a faint, impossible whimper. Half buried under debris, legs twisted, skull fractured, spine shattered, Vesna was still alive. Her pulse was slow but stubborn, like something inside her refused to stop fighting. Bruno, a former medic from World War II, recognized signs of shock and hypothermia instantly. He wrapped her in whatever blankets he had, kept her awake, and prayed rescue teams would reach them before the cold did. Hours passed. Her eyelids trembled. She tried to speak but no words came out. When she finally woke in a hospital days later, surrounded by doctors who looked at her as though gravity itself had betrayed them, she learned the truth: she had fallen farther than any human ever had. 33,000 feet, and lived. The investigators pieced together the fragments: an explosive device hidden in the forward cargo hold, the aircraft erupting mid-air, the fuselage section containing Vesna landing on a snowy, forested slope that softened the impact just enough to keep her heart beating. But no scientific explanation could fully account for it. Even the experts admitted it: surviving that fall was, by every known measure, impossible. As international newspapers scrambled for answers, Vesna became a symbol of something people couldn't quite name: luck, fate, resilience, the strange mathematics of survival. Reporters called her the girl who lived, a living contradiction to probability. But when asked about her own miracle, she simply said she remembered offering coffee to a passenger moments before everything went silent. No drama. No heroism. Just an ordinary woman whose story defied the mechanics of the universe. She carried the scars for the rest of her life, walked with pain that never fully left her, yet she returned to flying, to the same airline, to the same skies that had betrayed her.